I'm Callie from Moreton Bay Organics and welcome to today's video. Today is actually an impromptu video, so I apologise in advance if I babble on a little bit. But it came from a conversation I had with one of our clients today, and it sort of got me sparking about how many other people might be thinking. And that's just, it was a conversation about how expensive gardening is. And it's true, it can be expensive if you let it be. If you want everything brand new or you want everything raised up, that's where you're going to always incur in extra costs. But what we've been practicing for us in our own home garden areas is how can we make it as cost effective as possible, or even free. So I'm going to show you some ideas just to get you going, but there's heaps more ideas, and we've got so many projects on the go at the moment, but we'll show you them as we do them as well, so you guys can get those ideas and put them in place in your yard if you have the space and want to do it. It's a fun thing to do, to come up with those ideas and think, how can I use that? And then, you know, you might not think of it straight away, but then, you know, something will hit you one day and go, oh, that's right, I've got that container, or I've got that thing over there and I can use it for this. And it's fun. I think it's fun anyway. I hope you guys enjoy that sort of thing as well. But it's good to know these sorts of ways to get started in your garden if you haven't already, and you just want to start something small. You don't want to put a lot of investment in it, and you know, if you succeed, you'll try again and add to it all the time. And that's what we do. We started with one veggie patch a few years ago, and now we've got like a bazillion veggie patches, but we just add to them all the time as we know we can spend the time growing that, and then we plan about what we want to grow in the future, so we just add as we can. And you will never add everything all at once. It's impossible. You just have to start small and then just keep building on as you go. But yeah, I just wanted to show you some ideas that we've done, and yeah, know that you can do it too. So things we go through before we go for a tour, it's actually raining at the minute. We look through Marketplace, Gumtree, a few other places, but we also, because my partner is a tradie, so I'm very lucky in that department. He gets stuff from all building sites that people don't want, that we're going to chuck it out anyway, so we use some of that sort of thing. And there's some industrial areas that will actually put stuff they don't necessarily want to chuck in the bin. They try to give it away first, so they'll put it out on the street curb for you to collect it. They put a sign up saying please take on free. So there's a few places around that you can do that if you like to hunt for things. But yeah, so you can't always do things for free, but at very, very low cost, and some things you can do for free depending on what you've already got at home in your yard available ready to use. So yeah, I think it's raining a little bit, but I'll take you around as long as it's not pouring, and I'll show you some ideas that we've already started and doing. So I'll start actually in this greenhouse. So hold on one second. So you can see here some bathtubs. So we love bathtubs. We use bathtubs everywhere. I'll show you them as we go. But we're going to grow some stuff in the greenhouse this year to see how they go. But for shelving, if you do have a little greenhouse area, this was just in our shed. It's an old steel table bench. We use that in there. But the other thing I do is I've got some sawhorses and old pool fencing, and I've made them into benches, and I do that in a lot of places. And then I will go outside. So this is our new greenhouse. I think I've shown most people it now, but yeah, this is just only one little section. We'll keep adding to it as we need. But coming round this way, our raised bed gardens. So these were actually a rain tank that we got for free. So it's made 1, 2 and 3 beds. So it was heavy to move and it was painful to move, but it was well worth it. We'll paint them when we get a spare minute to paint them, but they are great. We don't fill the whole thing with soil. I'll do a video on that at some point as well. We use a hugelkultur. So if you haven't heard of that, look it up. But basically what hugelkultur is filling the bottom 2/3, there we go, 2/3 with either old logs, wood, mulch, soil that's from down deep that we used in one of our beds. We were digging some drainage, so we put all that soil from the drainage area into the base, and then chucked some mulch in between as well to help with drainage and composting. So yeah, you don't need to put the whole thing up with soil, so don't ever do that. You only need good soil on the top third of it. This bed is brand new. We only made this on the weekend, but with our greenhouse we got a base, and we didn't need all the pieces for it. So we actually, with some of the pieces for the base of the greenhouse, because we reinforced and did our own, we've used that instead. So we've used the base, made it into a garden bed. We've done a no-dig garden bed in there. And we've just started some tomatoes, so we still need to add our frames up for them to grow, but that's only just new. So that was free. So we're going to go over to our other garden bed area. The rain's starting to settle down now, so that's good. But I want to show you over here our bathtubs in use. So they need a bit of a tidy up, but yeah, so we've got shallots in here and garlic, and in our other one over here we've got strawberries and a couple of new baby tomatoes that have popped up. So they were free, and we used our own compost in there. Over here, some tomatoes that are nearly finished in an old little trailer for a what do you call it, a ride-on mower. That was free. Coming around this way, another little bathtub that was free. An old container that was it was in our shed from a clean out, so that was, you know, we would have paid for it at some point, but you know, recycling, so it was free for us. This is a bathtub disguised in some roof sheeting, so the roof sheeting was free. We just all we did was paid for some framing to raise it off the ground, so I think it cost us like about $50. And the bathtub was free. Another little rain tank that was free. What else have we got? Flexi tubs, I think they were like $3 or $4. We got lots of those. Someone's old containers, I think I paid like $10 for 3 of them, so they're over here as well. This garden bed that I'll show you videos in, we use this a lot. It's in the middle of being done up for spring. So the sheeting was free. The galvanized sheeting I think was about $50. The PVC piping we had laying around, so that was free for us. We paid for the wood framing, and I think from memory that cost about $150 with the bolts and cement and everything. So yeah, so that's still very low cost. these containers, which we picked up from an industrial area. They've obviously used them to hold something in them. We're going to paint them up and make them into little herb gardens, or little low growing gardens for flowers, which I don't know, you can see over there the white one there, we've just painted up yesterday, and we'll start planting them out as well. And yeah, so those things were free. Lots of things were free. One other place I'll take you. So see that bag? That bag was free. So we've got lots of these. We actually compost in them. We put holes in the bottom so there's still contact with the earth to get the microorganisms up in there. But I keep our potting mix bases in some of them, so they if I don't want to keep them on the ground, but they still have holes so they've got contact with the microorganisms and the earth. So it's just to contain it, because our puppies think it's food and they like to lay in it and dig in it as well. So we try to contain it where we can. But the other thing I wanted to show you, I'll just turn this. So this is old drainage pipe. I think the actual thing was free, but we paid for the stop ends on it. So I think that cost about $5 or something. And that's a new little strawberry run. So it's deep enough. We had to put drainage in that, so we drilled some holes. But that was, yeah, it was like about $10. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to show you. You can do things very cheaply if you want to. So, and you know, like, you know, dig gardens, or if you want to do, I think it's Eden gardening it's called, which is the mulch system around raised areas for your beds, which I'll show you. So this one here, so we've got mulch and then your compost layer. So it's a no dig garden principle, but the mulch is there as a weed mat basically. So the mulch you can get from a few different places. So you can get the mulch from landscape tree lopping places, which is where we get ours from. Sometimes it's free if they're just wanting to get rid of it the same day, and they don't want to take it to the dump or their own place. Or the other thing is, if you pay for it, it's usually only very cheap. So I think for 15 square meters, which is a lot of mulch, I think I paid about $150 for, and I still haven't used all of it yet. I will, but yeah, just I use bits at a time. We compost some of it as well, but the rest we use in a gardening system for our no dig gardening, for edging as well. So you don't have to pay for edging and stuff like that. Yeah, so everything can be low cost. Even things like garden edging, I don't know if you can see, this is our little, we call it our little fairy garden for the kids. They love it. So we've got tires as borders. They were free, just cut them in half, but you can actually use them as planters as well. And what else? There was another thing. Oh yes, that's right. I look terrible today. I haven't slept well for the last few days. So yeah, so old buckets. These are all food grade buckets that we get. So we're just starting some raspberries out in here, and they were, I think I got 80 of them, which we use for some of our mushroom growing. But you know, I think 80 for like $50 or something. It wasn't much. So we just, when we use them for potting up, we just drill holes in the bottom, and yeah, so it's very cheap. So yeah, so it doesn't need to be expensive. Gardening doesn't need to be expensive at all, but the cost of gardening for people will vary according to what you want to do, and what time and effort you have to be able to put into things too. Because if you're making something for free or very cheap, there's often where you need time to do a project to finish it. You know, because it will need work of some description, whether it be painting, cutting, drilling, designing, anything like that. So just know if you do those, it might be free or very low cost, but you still usually have to put some sort of effort into it, which is good for people because it gives them something to do. It helps with their mental health. The gardening aspect is very peaceful too, and that's very helpful as well. But it's good to have a project to do, and then you can sit there and say and share and say, hey, I did this. And I think there's a lot of self-satisfaction out of doing that, and I think that's one thing that we love out of low-cost gardening ourselves personally. So yeah, so I'd love to see anything that you guys do for low or free cost. Please put a comment below and tell us what you do, because there are so many ideas out there. Like we're going to be using a trampoline frame shortly, and I can't wait for that one because I've seen some really cool ideas, and yeah, we'll probably do a video just on that, because yeah, you can be as creative as you like. But yeah, no, we'd love to see what you guys do. So put a comment down below, tell us, or you can, if you can put share a photo, that'd be awesome. If you liked today's video or got something out of it, please like it, hit that thumbs up, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And yeah, we'd love to see what you guys come up with. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next video.